Mixed Up Craft. Thank you for watching my tutorial today. I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cool. I'm super pleased with this one. Kind of like a, I don't know, an oval, an orb gift box maybe, that's what I call it, I'm not too sure, but it's just a really unusual, it's all curved, it's got curved score lines, just a really, really different style. Living in China, there's a lot of beautiful tea bags where you in the supermarkets, in just little news agencies, everywhere has just beautiful packaging, and there is a lot of this style, this kind of curved look about it and stuff. So I just played around with some paper and score lines and come up with this. So it's stamped using, what were the stamps I used here? I think I've got those ones. Oh, I'll have to find, sorry, I've put them to one, I've brought the wrong ones over. They were by, I'll grab them in a second, but I'll just show you. So I have used the Oh So Succulent dies, which are now retired, Stampin' Up. This one here, and the smaller one here to make this flower. And it is just attached with a glue dot, like so. And then in here you just split the two pieces apart and you've got a really nice size gift box there. So again, it's very straightforward. That just slots back in. I'm trying to do this so that you can see. So it just slots in there, side, oh, hang on. She says, there we go. It's because I'm not looking down over it. So it just slots together like so, and then that piece, and then the Velcro dot over the top. And I've just put a little For You sentiment on it, which was from the Jar of Love, which has carried over. And the stamps, they are the Do Crafts Folk Floral from last year collection. They've all fallen out because I didn't clean them very well, I don't think, but you can see it there. It's just got a really nice, and I used this one and this one. And I just created this kind of cool little effect. So that's what I've used, but you can use any flower on top, and you can obviously stamp any design you want. It's just the box that's the wow factor. So let's crack on and make that one. So I've got a different colourway today. I'm using the Stampin' Up Tempting Turquoise and Daffodil Delight. I've got the stamps there that I used. I've already die cut and made this one up, and I finished it off with Wink of Stella. Just went over it quite crazy with the glitter. Hopefully it's picking it up there. It's so sparkly, it's really, really nice. So I've made that one already, and I've already stamped my sentiment with just one of the small square stitched framelits as well. So that's all ready to go. So they're the colours that I'm going for today. So all you need is one piece of card. Grab my scoreboard. Make sure I get all these score lines lined up first in the right place. Okay, so your card measures 11 and, well, again, it's, as I always say, it's the A4 size, so whatever the 11 and 5/8 or 11 and 3/4 is, that's fine. It would just mean your tab on the side's slightly smaller or slightly bigger, but don't worry, it won't affect the box. So yeah, so that's the length, and then the width is again standard. Okay, so scoring along the 8 1/4, you want to score at 1 1/2 and at 6 3/4. Okay, then rotate it onto the 11 and 5/8 of an inch side, and you're going to score. First, you're just going to be scoring down to that first score line for these first two, and then I'll tell you the rest. So just listen before you score. So your first one is going to be at 5/8 of an inch, just down to that first score line.
Then 2 1/8 down to the first score line. Then at 2 3/4 all the way down.
Then you're going to score at 3 3/8 of an inch down to the first score line. Then at 4 7/8 of an inch down to the first score line. Then at 5 1/2 all the way down. Then at 6 1/8 of an inch down to the first score line. Then at 7 5/8 of an inch down to the first score line. And at 8 1/4 all the way down. Then at 8 7/8 of an inch to the first score line.
Then at 10 3/8 of an inch to that first score line.
11 inches all the way down. Okay, then if you flip the card over and just line it back up like that, you're going to then do the same again. So it's 5/8 of an inch down to the first score line, 2 1/8 of an inch down to the first score line. You've already done the 2 3/4 score line, so you don't need to worry about that one. Then you go on and do the 3 3/8 of an inch score line down to that first score line. Then 4 7/8 of an inch down to the first score line. 5 1/2 has already been done. 6 1/8 down to the first score line. 7 5/8 down to the first score line. 8 1/4 has already been done. Then 8 7/8 of an inch down to the first score line. 10 3/8 of an inch down to the first score line, and the 11-inch one has already been done. Okay, so quite a bit of scoring there, so you might have to stop the video a few times. But if I just stand up and just see if I can get the, so you can't, oh, it's kind of picking them up there. You can see what you want it, there we go. You can see what you need to have. Okay, but just take your time with that one. And then that is all the scoring with the scoreboard, but keep your stylus and grab yourself, oh, just lost that, grab yourself a ruler, and what you want to do, actually, no, I'm trying to remember, no, I did use the scoreboard, sorry, I've made these all over the last few days and I'm doing all my filming today, so yeah, okay, so pop it in along the 8 1/4 inch side, and you want to just put a little notch at 3 3/8 of an inch, and then at 4 7/8 of an inch. Okay, then grab your ruler and line it up. So you've got that 3 3/8. Put your stylus in place. Line the ruler up and line it so it's dead straight all the way down so it meets the score line at the bottom. And then what you want to do is put a notch at every one of those score lines that you made earlier, and do that again on the 4 7/8 of an inch side. So put your stylus in place first, get your ruler all lined up, and again notch at each one of those score lines, because that's where we're going to join up the oval shape. Okay, so again, just let me just stand up there so you can see those notches. So here, 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 and down the end there, and again. So that is, if I just pan it out a little bit, there we go. That's where you want your notches to be. Okay. So there is a lot of scoring with this one, but it's obviously going to create a beautiful box. So next what you need is something to score around. So I've got an oval framelit here that I'm using. You could use a glass cup, you could use circle dies, it doesn't matter. All it will mean is your shape here might be, you know, being more of a rounded. Mine are more obviously taller because they're more oval, so it won't, you know, don't worry if you don't have oval ones and you've only got circle ones, it will still look nice. So that's what you need, and basically what you're going to do is at the bottom, so I'm just going to keep standing up so I can get the light, so where you have this square that you've created, so you've got that one there, I'm trying to pick it out, yeah, so the square there, you're going to be joining the corners of the squares down to the notches. So we're going to do a score line from that notch where my thumb is around to that one, and then this one, it will be from that one down to that one, and then that one up to that one, and then that one down to that one, and so on and so on. Okay, so I'm going to grab my oval die, and you always want to put your stylus down first because you've got that ball on the end, so obviously it's quite thicker, and just get that lined up so that it joins from there to there. Okay, and then you just want to make sure you've got a soft surface. You just want to score a few times until you get that score line like that. Okay. So then just turn this the other way. And just move it like that so I can do it properly. So again, line up your stylus and your die, and then join those up. Like so. And there you will see, there we go. Okay, now that's what you want to continue doing all the way along that side, and then turn your card around and do exactly the same all the way along the other side. Okay, so I'm going to go along and get all of that done, and then I'll show you at the end, and then you can use that then to carry on and do yours. All of mine done, okay? And if I just catch the light, you can see the effect I've got. So you can see that this kind of shape here, like a vase kind of shape, that's that shape there of the box, this here. Okay, just get it all in view. Alright, so that's what you need. Now that is all of the hard scoring done. So it's now on to the fun bits, the stamping and the cutting and putting it together. So what I'm going to do now is just show you one of the designs that I've done, and then obviously you can crack on and do it your way. So I'm just trying to think whether I want to do the big one in blue or... No, I think I'll do it in blue. So just ink up your stamp like so, and then this first one, just want to get that central up. There we go, and then I'm just going to continue that on the side. And that one. Like so. And then I'll do my smaller ones, and they're going to be in the yellow, and they are going to sit in like so. So I'm going to carry on and do all my stamping and let you guys all catch up and get to where you need to be. But the next bit will be cutting and putting it together. So get your designs done, make sure your score lines are all good, and we will meet again. Okay, so that is all of my stamping done. So I think it looks really pretty, and that's going to work really nicely with my flower. So we just need to burnish all of the main sides. You won't be able to, well, you pinch the curved bits, so don't worry if you haven't done this kind of style before, wondering how you're going to do those, because it's very straightforward. So all the sides there, and then those two top long score lines, like so. Okay, then we're going to cut all of these squares out, and then when we've done that, we'll be able to pinch the curved bits. So what you want to do, so I've got this thin tab on my left hand side. So what you want to do first of all is cut down. So you've got the first score line there, and then the second score line where that square is. You want to cut really neatly down that one there to that start of that curve, and then cut that whole piece out. And then go along, and you want to cut the inside of each square out. So I'll just do this, and then I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so you can see that you've got the tab, and then you've got your curve on each side. So again, we're going to cut, so that square's there, that one, and all the, again, the same on the bottom. So I'll just do another one just to show you again. Okay, again like so. So I'm just going to keep standing up because I want to make sure you can see what I've done. So you can see there where the curve is, that's the square that you want to cut out. So basically the whole thing will be all these squares. Okay, so carry on and do all of that. So that is what you should have now at this stage. So if you just kind of notch off the corners of that tab, okay, and then what you want to do is with each of these, so starting from the end one here, you just kind of want to push it so that it naturally kind of forms that curve shape. You just want to go along and just carefully do that on every single one, so they start to go in and the card starts to lift out. So you can see there it's all starting to kind of lift up. What I did forget to mention, and it will just help when you go to curve this side when this is stuck together, because that tab's not got any curve on it. So what you want to do is just grab your oval or circle, whatever it was you used, and just roughly, see what I've done there, just continuing it up the other side, just so it helps when you bring that together. That one there will sit in and it will help bend it. Don't worry if it's not exact, it will just help it when you go to close it all up. So again, just do the top one there, like so. Okay, so now we need to start sticking it together. So let me just work out, so that's the back, so that's going to be the last one to go down. So I'm just going to lie that back down. So that second one in, so your tab's on the right, the second one in from the left hand side, just fold it up, because that's going to be the last one that you're going to fold down. And then all you need to do is, so that one will go in first, so flip it over and you want to pop some tape. So your tab's now on your left hand side, you want to pop tape on the bottom of these two here, and then you just want to pop some tape on this end one. I'll get this stuck down. Okay, just flip it over, fold the one with the tab down flat, and then this one just line up on top, like so. So you've got your seam there, make sure that's at the back, and that's the one that we didn't stick earlier. So what you want to start doing is pushing all of these curved pieces again inwards. That's the one with the seam on, so it's going to be a little bit more stiffer, like so. Okay, so then this back one, so this is the one, the front, you got your tab, the side piece there at the back. So this one here is your first one that's going to go in. And what you want to do, actually no, I'm going to make it easier. Is that going to work that way? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, you need to bring the sides across. So, okay, so I know we put tape on both of these, but don't worry, just take it off of one. Okay, so that's the front still. So you've got your two sides here. Just bring one across and stick it on so it's exactly, they're on top of each other. So you've got a perfect join there. And then what you can do is fold in all of the sides like so. And you've got to give it a bit of force, push it all in, because it will all come together. And then I just need to put some tape on this one here because I done it differently. Like so, and on that front one. Okay, so that's the last one going down. Just always remember where your tab is, that's your back. Just gives you a nicer finish from the front, that's all. Just take this off. Okay, and again, just line it up so all the square is exactly the same, like so. And again, that last one, You want to just get that completely square on. Okay, so that is your base. Like so. So a bit fiddly, but it will all come together. So again, now we need to do the same on the top. This one's going to be slightly different. So there's no sticking with this one. Just kind of start pushing all of those sides in so you can start forming all of those curves. Okay, just remember that's my back. Right, so wherever your side seam is, make sure that's at the back. So these are going to be the two kind of top pieces, and these are going to be the bits that we're going to cut. So what you want to do is, so on the left hand side one, I'm going to cut in the middle up to the center, like so, and then turn it around. And you want to do the opposite side, again cut it up into the middle, and then you will be able to put them together like so, and they get a nice neat square finish. Okay, and then let me just check where I put the flower. So it was on that piece. So the flower is going to go on this front piece. So I'm just going to grab a Velcro dot. Okay, so you got your glue dot, you want to pop it on the inside of that front tab, and then bring your back one in. Make sure it's all lined up. When you're happy, push your Velcro dot down, like so. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is pop a bit of my tear tape on the back of my flower, and then that is going to stick nicely in the centre on top. Okay, and then I've got my little sentiment. Again, that's obviously optional. You might just want to keep them plain, and then I'm just going to sit that underneath the front one there. And there you have it. Whew, got there. It is a little bit fiddly, but look how beautiful it looks. It's so lovely when it's all done and put together. And again, it just then all opens up, and you just reveal the inside. So I hope I've made those instructions as easy and you can understand them, because some of these projects I do always like to challenge myself, so trying to make them so that everyone can understand. So I hope I have. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye.